AMD has launched their Ryzen 5000 series desktop processors based on their new Zen 3 architecture. One of the craziest things about this launch to me is the fact that there was no die shrink. Like, this is still a 7nm chip, just like the last one, except more faster and more better. So the Ryzen 5 5600X is $299 US. That gives you 6 cores, 12 threads. Remember when $300 US could get you 6 cores, 12 threads in the Intel days before AMD was competitive? No, I'm kidding. Luke's like panicking. He's like, wait, hold on a second.
We're gonna get an email from Epic.
I don't want to fail the test. I'm gonna have to make an apology video. So we didn't have that. 65 watt TDP. Like, what? 5800X. This one is killer. 8 cores, 16 threads, 4.7 gigahertz max boost, 105 watt TDP. 5900X, if you're into that Mondo performance. I think the 5600X and the 5900X are really just like the ones to buy, and it's pretty clear.
I was just gonna ask you, and I do kind of agree, but it is $50. And I think quite a few people wouldn't notice necessarily the benefit.
From 8 to 12 cores?
I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying quite a few people.
I think you're mad, sir. I think you're mad. I think you need to sit down and have a drink of water, lttstore.com. I think you're delirious. So, you know what? No, I strongly disagree. Because if you need 8 cores, you need 12. There. I said it. And if you don't need 8 cores, then buy a 5600X. That's my take on that. Because it's $200 cheaper. So you can really tell that, particularly now, AMD's yields on these are such that they really want you to buy the ones that are 6 cores per CCX.
And you're saving a lot of TDP there as well. I take that back.
With two dead cores, so you can tell they've got some defects to deal with. Otherwise, I do think that there would be a smaller price difference going from a 5600X to a 5800X.
And the 5800X does have the highest base clock and boost clock, but it's by such a small amount. Or no, not boost clock.
Not boost. No, it boosts higher as they go. So
that's interesting.
The more cores you got, the better the odds you can find a real golden 4.9 gigahertz one or whatever, I suppose. So here's the problem, though. While everyone agrees that Ryzen 5000 is pretty sexorific, what they don't agree on is how sexorific. So early reviews ranged from everywhere from as good as to much better than Intel's Core i9-10900K. What is up with this range? We reported among the higher results with Der Bauer, so Roman Hartung? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's German, so like I wouldn't even stand a chance. So with Der Bauer reporting even faster still results. Now, what this seems to indicate to us, because Gamers Nexus was right around in line with us, is that low latency and high speed DDR4 memory could play an even bigger role in Zen 3 performance than we anticipated, even knowing that Ryzen 1000, 2000, and 3000 were all highly dependent on optimizing your memory speed. So many reviewers were using low latency DDR4 3200, and we were using DDR4 3600. As for Gamers Nexus, Anthony was going back and forth with Steve, if I recall correctly. Who did he tell me he was going back and forth with? I think he was chatting with Steve. I'm gonna check my notes here. Yeah, but no, he was going back and forth with someone else about something. Nope, I think he just checked in and had a look at their stuff. So they hand-tuned their timings, which does make a significant difference to performance. So let me just, it was actually an email. That's my problem. I don't want to get my story wrong here. If he was talking to someone about it, then I want to make sure that I'm crediting them properly. Anthony, it was in a status report or something, I think. Numbers, Gamers Nexus reported. No, he didn't talk to Steve about it, but, they hand-tune their stuff. So that seems to be what happened there. And it really merits, further investigation, I guess. We've done, does gaming memory matter? Or like, how fast memory do you need for gaming a couple of times in the last few years, but it seems like with Ryzen 5000, it might be worth exploring again, because all of a sudden we're going from, yeah, there's not much benefit past, 3200 to all of a sudden, okay, 3600, and even DDR4 4000 is resulting in substantial performance improvements. Notably, Der Bauer was actually running 2000 megahertz on the Infinity Fabric clock. So he was running 1:1:1, no dividers. Now, Intel's upcoming...
Is that concerning to you at all? Sorry.
In what, like the fact that you need more expensive memory to get the most out of Ryzen 5000?
The fact that a group of reviewers ended up getting results that varied. As from a like if you were like the hat, I guess I want you to put on is your like product manager NCX hat.
Sure.
Like, would that concern you in terms of sales and customers coming back complaining, anything like that?
No, because the reality of it is most people who buy a computer are never going to run a benchmark on it ever. They're going to immediately install Epic Games Launcher, download Fortnite, and start playing Fortnite. And the thing is that for most people, like you and I are in this unique position. Well, I guess you haven't been to the office in months, but I am in this unique position where I'm surrounded by tech all day, every day. You name a generational technology improvement in computers or phones for the last 8 years, and I experienced it going right from the last generation to this one, every individual generational leap. Well, most consumers are on an upgrade cycle that is at the fastest 2 to 3 years. And
so it's going to feel super fast anyways.
Typically more like 5 to 8. So anyone upgrading from, like, let's think about, what a gaming machine looked like 8 years ago. You were rocking like a 2600K, right?
I mean, I was rocking 2600K 3 years ago.
Yeah. So 2600K, you bought a gaming machine 8 years ago. You bought a 2600K, okay? It's time to upgrade today. You buy Ryzen 5000. Are you worried about like 6% of the Ryzen 5000's performance or 4% performance difference? No, you're getting your new machine, you're installing your games on it, and you're going, holy shit, I can't believe my games can look like this. This is butter smooth. This is unbelievable. So,
I'm so happy I saved up for it, blah, blah, blah. You're not
exactly. You're stoked. So the reality of it is most consumers never do this kind of like splitting hair benchmarking. Like, I think even many enthusiasts I think many enthusiasts overestimate the size of their niche. Like, yes, the PCMR subreddit is 1 million strong now, or whatever the case may be, but there's a lot of people on there that are not going in and hand tuning memory typings. They just love the memes. So that's not indicative of like how many of these people there are. Even working for NCIX, which was a very enthusiast-centric retailer, the vast majority of the time that I talked to an actual customer, they don't follow this stuff, like not like we do. They like it. You can be an enthusiast without being obsessed with it and without wanting to turn it into another job that you have to do on the side when you get home from work. Okay, I gotta research all the new tech stuff, and I gotta learn about the new Infinity Fabric. Like, most people don't operate like that. They just buy a shiny new toy and they're happy with it. And to put your head in that mindset, think about the last time you bought a drill, for example. How many amps is the motor? Like, who the cares? Does it put in the screw? Okay. Well, that's how most people buy a gaming PC, right? Like,
yeah, and I guess in a lot of these situations, you're talking about like most people, not everyone.
Absolutely.
And that subcategory of people will probably be fine, I guess.
Yes. So most people are probably not going to care. So from like a business standpoint, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a handful of people that are like, "Oh, I watched every review about this and I noticed there was a discrepancy."
Do you think it could lead to lower sales?
No, not realistically, because
I feel like if this happened this strongly in like their first resurgence into the CPU scene, it might have been more concerning. But because we've had the last like couple generations of really solid AMD processors, people are not nearly as worried now. They're kind of the default purchase in a lot of situations these days.
In the enthusiast space. Like and I don't mean enthusiast obsessive. I just mean people who are enthused by high performance computing. In the enthusiast space, they are I would say they're the go-to right now. And what's really nice is that Ryzen 5000 doesn't come, like our recommendation of it doesn't come with the same caveats that we had with first gen Ryzen in particular, where it came out and we were like, AMD's back in the game. But I'm not ready to recommend this because we had a lot of stability issues, and this thing ain't ready for prime time. Like Ryzen 5000 just went. Your wife, does she go? Does she go, mate? Is she a goer? She's a goer. People who get the reference will get it.
I don't get it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm
what is
over
it from?